A Bill Gates venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. What could go wrong?
Yep.
This is a Mr. Burns.
And this was supposed to, but this was supposed to,
Mr. Burns.
This was supposed to go forward as an official test a couple months ago. It was postponed, but the test is still going to be going forward with Bill Gates literally blocking out the sun because of climate.
I pictured Bill Gates literally 100 million miles wide blocking out the sun when you said that.
No, he's got a remote, and when he presses it, a gigantic metal disc goes up.
We just don't.
He's just, he's just an unaccountable billionaire and businessman that buys off the corporate media. There's nothing to worry about here. It's not like he believes there's too many people in this world. Oh wait,
yeah. This is the kind of tech.
I bet he sunburns easily, and that's really what it's about. He's like a pasty white dude, and he's like, I don't want to buy lotion.
He does wear a lot of sweaters. He's like,
see, that's, maybe he's he gets like eczema or something.
More magnesium, Bill. Get more green vegetables. That's how you avoid sunburn.
Well, have you seen his moobs?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the dude's eating vegetables. I think he wants to block out the sun.
I'm thinking,
this sounds so villainous.
Yes,
I know.
Yes. What do you think I've been screaming about this person for the last 10 years? 10 years I've been like, hey, guys, you guys should look out at this guy. Hey, this guy's doing this. He's doing this. He's doing this. He's doing this. He's also trying to create microchips that are going to be artificially birth control inside of human beings. That's all concerning stuff that we should be talking about, especially since we got here talking about the new kind of weapons that will be used during World War III, because there's also a big potential, hypothetically, to say that this war is already going on and a lot of people don't even realize it anymore. And that right now people are dying, people are casualties of this war from circumstances and things that they don't see, that they might be participating in and consuming themselves.
For sure, viruses, you can't see them. That's a great war tactic. Food, if you poison food or make food that is poison, that's a kind of a war tactic. But it's just like a subtle war. No one wants to be the aggressor in that war. They don't want to be found out as an aggressor.
You'll lose public support. So you always want the other side to be the aggressor.
Right. And then put weapons on their border until they attack you.
You know what would be really funny if like World War III is just like the U.S. is bombing itself and blaming Russia, and Russia's bombing itself and blaming the U.S., but that's all it is.
And they have a secret deal, an arrangement, being like, hey, guys, we're going to wag the dog here. We're going to stage something, but we're going to work on this together so we could feed the military-industrial complex, but we're just going to play pretend here.
Well, I mean, like...
hypothetically.
The U.S., I think it would be funnier in the scenario if the U.S., there's no direct conflict, it's them attacking themselves, but... we were bombed today, and it must have been Russia, but it was like the CIA.
It's false flag after false flag after false flag.
It's nothing but false flags. Russia is like, so, I mean, think about what would happen. Right now, you've got this story where Russia apparently is going to blow up a dam. And so Russia says Ukraine's going to blow up a dam. So Western media says that's a signal that Russia's going to blow the dam up to blame us. Like, this is how insane it is. So, like, all of a sudden, the Ukrainian dam explodes. And then the Western media says, Russia did it. It's a false flag. They're trying to blame us. Then all of a sudden, Russia blows up one of its own dams and goes, no, this proves that Ukraine did it because even we got attacked. And so everyone's just blowing themselves up.
No.
You got to get public support, I guess. But let's get to the point where the robots fight each other,
I think that's already happening, too.
Or you could just deny humanity energy and watch, civilization collapse on itself. We could watch food prices go up so it becomes too expensive so people can't afford it. You could stop domestic energy production and exploration, just like the new prime minister, who's also a part of the World Economic Forum, a Goldman Sachs banker, just banned fracking inside of all of the United Kingdom. Also, the same individual pushing for a central bank digital currency, which is akin to a social credit score that his family is also invested in heavily and working on, of course, building with the World Economic Forum.
What's this guy's name? The PM of
Rishi
Sunak. Sunak, and he just got in with like 2 days ago.
Yep.
And he's already banned fracking.
Yep. Oh yeah.
The entire global United Kingdom.
Yep.
Yep. One person
and they're already getting ready to ration heating oil for the winter.
It's crazy.
Yep. And this is the same person, by the way, that just talked about how the UK is going to be the first place that is going to rewire their entire financial system in order to be net zero. Oh, this is the same guy literally promising, hey, we're also going to bring in a central bank digital currency because it's going to be so convenient when the government's able to watch, track, and see every little thing you do and tax you automatically without you even having to fill out any tax forms. This is a new level of Orwellian 1984 New World Order, Brave New World that we are all facing today that a lot of people warned about, saying, hey, this is coming. Now this is a reality.
It's like a big do-over, you know?
Like
Oh,
a
yes,
big,
a large,
grand, like a
Grande reformatting.
That sounds right.
reformatting.
Reformat.
A change up, a kind of
a gigantic new beginning.
a restart, right? Restart is that's
Something
also
like that, like a
way?
reformat, like
Yeah.
a rebirth.
Grandiose rebirth.
Big rebirth. So I was studying the Revolution, the American Revolution, the first one, and I say right now because we're in it right now. It never stopped. George Washington would go to the Continental Congress. They'd all go, and they'd sit there, and Washington would barely ever speak. He'd just listen, and he'd be wearing his full military outfit, and they're like, "Yo, this guy's ready to roll." Like it was before the war began, but everybody knew George was ready to go. And
He shows up in full military gear, and they're like, "Dude, calm down."
finally, when they make their decision that they're going to have to go to war with England, John Adams is like, "We've decided who's going to lead the army," and John Hancock's like, he's the president of Congress. He's like, "Here we go, give it to me, boys." And then they were like, "And it's George Washington," and Hancock's like deflated. He thought he was going to be the guy, and George didn't want it. He was like, "This is a suicide mission. I can't. There's no way we can win this."
Yeah.
But he did it anyway, and thank God for the French.
How many battles did he win?
I don't know.
I mean, you
I've
can
not-
count Trenton as a battle, maybe. But I think other than that, I don't know if he won a single one other than Yorktown. I mean, all he did was fight, lose, stay alive, retreat, keep going over and over and over again. Obviously the French come in at Yorktown. They have Saratoga, which was a big win, but he wasn't there. But,
Sometimes that's the winning strategy. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Makes you a good commander.
Mel Gibson won a couple.
he did.
That's right. Yeah.
Dude, he lost both his kids, though, right?
I know. Well, he had a bunch
He
of
died.
kids.
Did he? No, he didn't die at that one.
No, he wins in the end. That movie's so good.
Washington won 6 victories at Boston, a siege at Boston, Harlem Heights, Trenton, the Battle of Trenton, Princeton, and Yorktown. And he also was defeated 6 times. Long Island, Kipps Bay, White Plains,
50-50,
Fort Washington, Brandywine, and Germantown. And he had 2 ties at White Marsh and Monmouth. But yeah, he basically just held the line for the French to come win the war for him. No one can do it alone.
That's the question about a civil war in the United States. A lot of people on the right think that come on, the right has guns, they have more military. But people don't understand that, when I was reading about North Carolina, I was reading a bunch of historical articles from universities. North Carolina, Virginia, they were split. They were like, they didn't want to secede from the Union. The protections the Union offered was too great. There were benefits. They just didn't want to leave. And it was only after 75,000 troops were called upon by Lincoln that they were like, that's way too much for us. We're not going to support that. That's tyrannical. But it's split. If something were to happen in this country, you might be thinking like, nah, there's no way this state would leave. Like there's not enough states. It wouldn't split. But there might be some states that just, look, I'll put it this way. Donald Trump wins in 2024. He's president in 2025. California, Oregon, and Washington all say outright, we will not abide by federal law pertaining to abortion or sex changes for kids or schools. And then Trump says they have totally cut us off. So we're sending in the army, invoking the Insurrection Act, something that we've already discussed as possible. Or let's say Antifa starts rioting. And then Trump says, we're going to shut down these riots. This time I'm not making the same mistake. I'm invoking the Insurrection Act. And then California says, we can't do this. It's too much. Trump's sending troops now. The media obviously sides all with these progressive states pushing the cause of secession. I mean, that's...
what would push it too is if they tried to institute a draft for some sort of offensive measure in Ukraine. States would be like, I am out. I will not tolerate that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think red states. But if the GOP wins, we're not going to have that. If the Republicans win, the war is effectively a non-issue for us, and Ukraine's going to lose in 2 seconds. No world war. Look, I'll put it very simply. If Trump wins, and if we survive to 2024 and World War III doesn't start, I don't think it will. I hope not. If Trump wins, if a Republican wins, well, I'll say this. I can't speak for the Republicans, but if Trump wins, our involvement with Ukraine is done. Ukraine loses the war overnight. Russia walks in and just takes what they want. It's better than World War III.
What are you thinking? Is that possible?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw the story the other day where even the far left progressive caucus is saying, let's back off what we're doing. Now, then of course, they got yelled at, so they had to back off it. But this is not something that, the majority of conservatives support. Even those on the far left, I mean, their conscience is, we can't support this. I mean, this is the political class in Washington, that have been there for years, that, going back to, World War II, really, that is pushing this.
Yeah. Was it 20 or 30 representatives?
I'm not sure how many.
I think it was a significant number coming out against the escalations in Ukraine, which is big news and should have been covered more.
Right. But this is always how it happens, right? Where you have one spot. It's like, what was it? Serbia in World War I, right? Was it Serbia where everything happens from there? Right now, not everything is World War II, where you have a dictator on the march invading countries. You have conflagrations like this that set off things that once they happen, you cannot roll them back. So hopefully, after November, this thing starts to get rolled back, because we're kind of at this brinksmanship. Which we've seen, throughout the Cold War, which fortunately never erupted into anything beyond these proxy wars. But hearing talks about we're approaching nuclear Armageddon, or we could be looking at nuclear Armageddon, the fact that more people aren't talking about that, I mean, that's crazy to me.
Absolutely.
This is the first I heard of the progressive outcry about it.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it like AOC? People.
I don't think AOC was there.
Jay Paul, I think, was the one that sent the letter. So she's a member of Congress. And then a day later, they were throwing staff under the bus, and they, for sending this letter. You didn't think this through. You didn't, either you write it, you send it, you stand by it, or you don't send it. But I mean, within a day, it had unraveled.
Sometimes when I see stuff like this, I'm like, is there a powerful spaceship hidden off the horizon where, like, these progressives, they can't actually do anything good? The Democrats have no choice. Is there some great and powerful demonic entity or a super being or a multidimensional creature that is forcing them to be evil garbage? I just don't understand why you can't just be like, the war is wrong, here's my letter, I don't care.
It was the Congressional Progressive Caucus that officially sent the letter. We should have some of these individuals on with how close.
Look how cowardly they got, though. They backed down. They apologized. They all the BS they play. Come on, dude.
I bet there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Be interesting to air that.
Yeah,
stuff
but I want to know what the hell happened, because they sent the letter and then they had to backtrack. Why did they have to backtrack? What pressure to de-escalate the situation? These people are de-escalating.
Like, you must go to war.
No, Beep Borp wouldn't do that. Beep Borp is going to be a Ron Paul, ANCAP libertarian freedom fighter that's going to progress human society. So we are going to be equally and promote freedom and really be the best human beings that we could be. I'm optimistic.
Jimmy Dore's calling him out, and the fake woke cult left despises it. But Jimmy's right.
Yeah. I want to know what happened. I want to know if it's like a lobbyist group, or if it's a corporate group, or if it's an intelligence agency that came to this progressive caucus and said, "Stop it right now." Who did it? Why? I want to know. And I think the American people deserve an answer, because it's their money going over there. It's their money escalating in a situation.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.